Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. This is Game 3 of Vaalbara versus the Etherials. We have in the northwest corner the Etherials, the purple team. We have Ether No Master, Renwood, Freak Nasty, and Mouse Leisure. And, of course, we have Renwood with us here today. What's up, man?
Oh, I just eaten this peach. It's delicious.
There you go, man. That peachy goodness. So down here in the southeast, we have Vaalbara, featuring Limp, Garrick, Asmodian, Eastwind, and Kruniak. Kruniak, the newest addition to this game. I believe also we have HMP, Switch, Kryptos, and Vie for Power, all spectating this game neutrally.
Yes, Kruniak has the distinction of being my least favorite Myther.
Oh, so this is somewhat of a rivalry game for you now, huh?
Well, you know, it seemed like he came out of nowhere a few years ago, and he just seemed like his ego didn't match his skills. Sadly, I think he got better as time went on. But I probably shouldn't have been playing him, several beers or vodka gimlets in every time I ran into him.
See, you taught him how to play just by throwing your units, Renwood. Tisk tisk. But, let's take a look at the trades here really quickly. We have Eastwind taking the trout for Vaalbara. They grab some spiders, they max their fetch, they have max their mortars, and the Etherials, they're only opting for 3 mortars, which is half of what Vaalbara has. They pass their 3 Tro, 2 Mouse Leisure, and the 8 fetch is split 4 different ways between the remaining 4 players on Etherials.
Yeah, I already when we're in the PT, I'm slightly worried because
game on.
on this map, I always notice that the Solus are some of the most powerful units if used correctly on this particular map, which is odd considering there's fetch and mortars. But the fact that we have so few Solus is leading me to think that this game is probably going to be like the other ones.
It could happen. I do believe Vaalbara does have a 2 or 3 soul advantage here, and the fact that it is Lamoth, the game is oriented around these hills that are middle. So, as the teams head over to mid here,
Is Lamoth the French version of Elmoth?
I guess so, or perhaps the Boston version. I don't know. Maybe I'm just slurring my L's a little too much. But, let's see here. So the teams are going to meet middle with Eastwind tagging the flag for Vaalbara, Mouse Leisure taking it back.
And the default Eastwind has all the Tro, which is just default.
Captured.
Well, it's not a bad way to go at it. Game of Myth 2 if you have to captain and you're looking to win. As Eastwind is definitely one of the better well-known power players in Myth 2, where he tends to get the units that collect the most ratios. Essentially a Myth 2 carry.
Yeah, whenever I captain him, I give him all the Tro.
Well, there you go. And so the teams are going to match up here. I'll notice Ether has all the souls and is still opting to keep his 2 fetch. Perhaps leaving him vulnerable against Garrick and Asmodian over here. I'm surprised he doesn't just drop him off to you really quickly.
So right now, I think I do get some more stuff as time goes on. Right now, I'm realizing we're crowding our hill too much, and like these Solus are not going to be. See, I guess I should have just asked for these Solus because I feel like that's the best thing I can contribute on this map. all the higher ranking guys, whenever I'm playing with them, they always give me a bunch of Solus. So I think maybe they notice I usually do well on this with the Solus, but
Well, I think the problem here is just where the Solus are on the map for you guys. I mean, they're pushing the fetch over here right now. That might spell disaster for Ether. But you'll notice their Trow are pushing on the other side of the map, and you guys have no souls over there. And I feel like you definitely could have used the support of the ranged poking abilities of the souls, able to counter the Trow, because Eastwind is just able to continue pushing you guys. Kruniak is completely comfortable in this scenario. There's nothing really harassing his fetch either.
I just fired a Mort Dud in the middle near the flag, and I think at some point it kills some fetch that walk over it by accident.
We'll have to keep an eye out, try to catch it later.
I think right now I actually see what I look at the overhead map, and I see that we could kind of pinch their north a bit. So
Exactly.
I'm trying to get the guys to do that.
And Ether is gonna lose a fetch over here, as No Master and Freak Nasty put the push on to Kruniak. As Vaalbara's units kind of bottle up here, they're gonna have some spiders go down. They're sending Olympus sending some mauls out to keep the Etherials busy over here.
Yeah, at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about what we got going on.
Yeah, you guys seem to have them all in one spot up here in the north, while Asmodean's pushing in the south with his fourth fetch. You guys actually have a fetch advantage in the north, as it looks like one of Kruniak's fetch went down. A mortar for Etherials is going to go down. Your fetch is going to get blasted, along with some Berserks mid. All sorts of stuff popping off. No Master and Freak Nasty keeping the pressure up with their fetch. And Mouse Leisure losing two of his Tro. Looks like he might lose his last one. Able to get off another punch, but is zapped by the fetch and stoned. Eastwind's gonna walk out of there with the low health Tro.
Look at that dud right in the middle of those three fetch I fired.
Ugh.
I mean that could have totally changed the tide right there, but I got the bad luck dud in the middle of three fetch.
And if one of the fetch for your team had been alive to set it off, you know, because in M2, Myth 2, the fetch will shoot over the units and set off anything on its way, whereas in TFL it would get blocked by the unit, but also shoot units off in duds off into the distance. Anyway, that will wrap it up over here. Vaalbara winning the Lamoth with 53% on the Barb Valley Dark Edition. Let's go into the statistics over here. We have Vaalbara's Limp, 3 kills, 3 losses, 16 damage. He was kind of poking around with the mauls. Did a good job capping his team. Took a nice small role, and it worked out in his team's favor, so good work, Limp. And next up we got Kruniak. He went 31 and 4. The 130 damage really taking a large chunk of your team's units and health out of play with his fetch and berserks. Pretty good stout fetching by him. I didn't see how his other fetch went down. I was surprised he even lost one at the end of the day. And next up we have Asmodean, 21 kills, 8 losses, 61 damage. I believe he had the fetch pushing around south, facing off against, I think it was Ether, and I think he even took out some of those souls early on.
Yeah, and you could see the
Really hurting your
experience,
team.
you know, the experience that these guys have playing together, and just, you know, their tournament experience really showed in the fact that they kind of got backed into a corner, and they were sort of going to get pinched, kind of, and they didn't really seem to be. They zero fucks were given by them. They were just like,
Yeah, what they did was they started playing Willow Creek, and what you do is you just keep backing up and backing up and backing up and taking a little piece here, a key piece there, and eventually you'll whittle your opponent who's trying to push you down pretty effectively, unless they're able to take out some of your key defensive units. And I mean, I see it happen all the time in 1 versus 1s. I especially with people getting bored, and they'll just continue to rush and walk into the Willow Creek strategy.
yeah, it's I've never heard it called that. I've just always heard it like it's like being a bitch. Like, come back here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's wise.
But it is wise. It does save you the units, and it definitely helped Vaalbara win this game. Although, even if you guys had one north, you still would have had to deal with Asmodean's 4 fetch, which can definitely prove to be a problem without a well-healthed Tro and some Solus. But let's move on in the statistics to Eastwind 10 and 12 with 62 damage. He had the Tro, he did what he had to do, he took the enemy Tro off the map, applied pressure when he needed to, backed up when he needed to, and overall played a pretty solid game. Once again showing that he is one of the best veteran players around. And last but not least, we have Garrick, 9 kills, 8 losses, 39 damage, playing more of a support role for his team. But having these Solus and his mortars, and Limp Solus and his mortars, and being able to have that Solus advantage and the more experienced support groups definitely helped secure the game for Vaalbara. Because if you don't back up and you do take the losses, you will end up seeing the game end before it's supposed to, and it most likely will not be in your favor.
I think this is also the game where we decided to stop using VoIP and just type. And I think it's yeah, we totally lost, but we at least got them down to 53%, and we seem to have a bit more cohesion as a team this time.
And you can see, even in defeat, you guys just lost your 3rd game, the match is over. Vaalbara was heavily expected and favored to win here. So I think you guys knew that going in, and you're still having fun here in the chat. We can finally see some of your players talking. And let's go through your team statistics real quick and see what happens. So we got Ether, the captain, 5 kills, 19 losses. He has 14 damage. Least amount of damage on your team. Losing those souls early definitely hurt, especially because you guys didn't have any other souls on the map. It seems like in these games he was really overwhelming himself, and I know he's the type of person that doesn't need any type of stuff, extra stress or extra complications going his way. He doesn't need any of that. Although I do commend him for stepping up, not only putting this team together, but also captaining them through these games, especially games against such heavy favorites. It can definitely cause you to pull your hair out a little bit, but he got together just fine, it seems.
I always find it's just like apprehension, it's like when you're playing somebody that is like just a lot better at something, you like censor yourself and you don't do what you normally would do, and that's always I know if I could just chill the fuck out whenever I one-on-one somebody like GKG, I might actually be able to maybe bloody his nose a bit, but I try to be too careful and stuff, and I don't do what I normally do, and then he just like obliterates me.
You overcomplicate it, huh? Yeah, man. It's best to keep it simple, man. That's how I like to do it. Although sometimes I like to do special finicky stuff like gold packs and what have you with satchels. And, that's fun, but it totally takes an extra amount of effort.
I think that's also TFL. People used to do a lot more wacky shit, in TFL days.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when everyone was figuring out the games was back then, even when Myth 2 came out. They were still figuring that out, and Bungie was updating the games constantly, so, every patch kind of changed it a little bit.
Then we got
Freak Nasty.
Ether.
Yeah, we got Freak Nasty with 11 kills, 16 losses. So he's going to lead your team in kills. You are going to lead your team in damage with 53 and 7 kills. And, a big chunk of losses. You must have had some spiders. I'm sure plenty of other stuff that got zapped there. You got 21 losses. But, on a BC map, and with so few players on both teams, really, that's just what happens on these larger maps. Interesting to think, I don't think you got any of the kills on the spiders, and it shows up in your damage, as I'm pretty sure Freak Nasty must have been the guy who blasted those spiders, as his kill ratio is pretty high, but doesn't quite top yours.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the tail of the tape is right there with, I didn't even feel like I was really doing anything effective that game, except fire a dud at 3 fetch, and I had the highest damage on the team, so that's like, if I think I haven't even contributed and I got the highest damage, I still that was a problem.
Yeah, you know how it went. So no master, 3, 19, 32 damage. And last but not least, Mouse Leisure. 1 kill, only 3 losses and 35 damage. Oh, Mal must have had the tro, correct?
He just likes to camp, so I don't know.
You couldn't tell he was camouflaged in the detailed textures. But, yeah, so that will wrap up Game 3. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me, Renwood, and we will see you in Game 4. Stay tuned.
Game
That's right.
over.
Yeah, also, if you saw, like, we had a bunch of pigs and stuff in the north, that when we started rushing, the pigs were totally not part of it, and we're, like, way behind all of our guys and stuff, and